Testing, 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 testing. See if these tabs change. It look like we got the tabs changing now. Let's see. All right, we should be good. Let's see. I think we good. Let me zoom in and see if we zoom in on there. Now we is dealing with some lead this morning. I definitely say that, but I think the chart's setting up now, though, y'all. I think it is. Feel like it's showing the right one. I ain't with him other name, but I think the chart's showing right now. It uh, should be showing spiral up. I had to close OBS because I left my okay, appreciate it, Nate. He said good it is, okay. Appreciate that. But I had to close my OBS because I left it running, I didn't even know overnight. And the OBS, the thing that let me do the stream and stuff, it was just running. So I guess I had to close it and reopen it. But that's the one thing with me when it comes to these laptop computers, I let that mug run all night. I need to start putting it on rest mode and stuff. But it's alright though. We got it. We got it moving now though. Alright. Well, we basically gonna restart the stream over again, y'all. um, like I said at the beginning though, this week been a nice week though. We had a nice week. Um, like I said, we gonna do the recap for Thursday and Friday because I believe the last stream we did it for Wednesday. Wednesday was the last day that we seen on the last stream, so we finna recap Thursday and Friday. Um, give a little bit of our thoughts of what it may do. We're not gonna go too deep into because y'all know on Sunday is when I like to do that to get like our weekly analysis. But we definitely gonna do the recaps for Thursday and Friday. See what all the trades that we were looking towards did they play out, and um, yeah. And like I told y'all, Saturdays I'm gonna start back doing that back testing on Saturdays, but I'm probably only gonna do an hour for it, and it's gonna be pretty late now. On Saturdays, if you want to tune in, it's gonna be like 9, 10 o'clock when I do that back testing. But um, yeah, I just want to go back and do some back testing, and that's also probably where I do like if y'all got any questions or want me to look at certain charts and stuff. That Saturday night will be probably what it'll be when we do that stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into these charts. I don't want to make this too long of a stream. This should be a quick and short one. Like I said, we just recapping Thursday and Friday, um, and seeing all the stocks and stuff that we were looking to jump into for Thursday and Friday. All right, so we starting off with SPY. Um, like I said, the last time we was on here, we were on a Wednesday, so I'm actually put the replay back just so we can not have it too confusing for y'all with me explaining it. Alright. Alright, now it's lagging real bad since I had to restart it. Come on. Alright. Now, like I was saying on Wednesday stream, when it came to SPY, we finally had got a close back above this daily fair value gap. As y'all can see, we on the daily time frame. We finally had got that close above that daily fair value gap once again. Um, of course, y'all know our weekly analysis. We were bullish on SPY. We was looking for these highs at the 649.48 to come get tested, possibly taken and either close above, or if it just take it and pull back again. Um, but that was our weekly bias, so we was bullish on the weekly bias. Um, like I said, we finally got that close back above that daily fair value gap. If we look to the left, when we was looking to the left on Wednesday, we said, hey, every time we close above this right here, let me see, what's the level? 642.35. If we look to the left, every time we had a green candle close above there, what we did, we end up coming tapping this 646.09 level. We tapped that 646.09, then we rejected, came back down. Got a green candle close again above it, tapped that 649, rejected. Came right here, had a green close above, we tapped that 649, rejected. Right here again, closed above. We finally closed above the 646.09 level, and what did that do? They ended up making us our high, our 649 48 level. Now, we did have this one day right here, this one day that we did close above that daily fair value gap level, and we didn't go all the way up there. So we said, yeah, we got one outlier. So out of the 4 times that we closed above, only one of them didn't get all the way up to that key level at that 646.09 level. So when we closed up here above this daily fair value gap on Wednesday, I was like, hey, I'm expecting us to come tap this key level. That's why we put that white line right there, y'all. We put that white line right there because we was like, hey, that's our first target. We want to see what SPY does when it gets to that level. Because, like we said, if it comes up there, tap it, but fail to close above, we might be coming right back down. But if we can get up there just like we did right here on the August 27th, and close above, I'm expecting what? Us to go take them highs. I'm expecting us to go take them highs basically at 650. So Wednesday we was like, hey, we're bullish. We got our first close outside the daily fair value gap. We see, hey, to the left we got plenty of examples of every single time it closed above this level, we end up coming up to that 646. So we was pretty confident from 643 to go up to 646 at least. Now, like we said, once it get up there, we want to see what it does. If it's trying to close past or keep going, or what. So yeah, that was our thought coming into Thursday after seeing Wednesday candle close green and above the gap. Now I can take the replay off. Now I can take the replay. Let's see. I just wanted to show y'all what we was thinking about coming into Wednesday and what our thoughts was. Now, come on, take the read. Oh, I don't think I turned it off. Yeah, I pressed no. Here we go. Now, Thursday, what ended up happening? Exactly what we was expecting. We came up to that 646 level. Once Thursday got up to that 646 level, all we was waiting on then was, hey, is we closing past or is we finna reject right here? On Wednesday, y'all know I was in some SPY loans on Wednesday. I had got me some SPY loans. I believe I was in SPY 640. I was in SPY 646. Yeah, I was in SPY 646 call on Wednesday. Of course, I closed it on Thursday. Closed most of them on Thursday. I still held a little bit because I was looking for them highs to get taken. But yeah, we was trying to see what that 646 level was gonna do. As we can see, Thursday we pushed straight past it. We pushed straight past it. which was nice. It was nice that it pushed straight past it. I was like, hey, well now I know we're going to that 650, that 649. This high right here, the 649 .48. So I knew we was gonna get there. We knew that going into Friday after Thursday closed green. Um, as y'all can see, we did have this drawing tool set up for potential entry. Um, but we had this drawing set up on our Sunday analysis. We had this set up on Sunday analysis. We was like, hey, if the market wanted to respect this low right here, this could have been a potential entry to go to the high. But as we seen, we gapped down and took that low. So we did not respect that low at all. Gapped down, and then we eventually started moving back up. But yeah, Thursday came. We closed above that 646.09 level, and then that's all. That was like sure as day we going to the high. Cause like we said, when we looked to that left, what happened? When we closed above 646, we made that high at that 649.48. And also, if we look to the left, we don't have no other gaps, no nothing in the way to tell us, hey, we're not going to take them highs. Um, so Thursday candle was nice. Like I said, we came with that 646 closed above. Now we just trying to see, hey, once we take these highs, what's our next plan? Once we take these highs, are we going to close above the highs for a continuation? Because y'all know a continuation pattern for us is what? When we break a high, we gotta close. We must close above it to continue going higher. Um, Same thing for a low. If we break a low, make a new lower low, we gotta close past it just to have that continuation, that same momentum to go in that direction. Now, SPY could have took that high at the 649 level. It could have took that high and rejected and closed back below it. Now, if that counter would have stayed green, then it still show, hey, we still kind of want to go up. We just probably have to do a pullback, then go higher. If the counter would have stayed green. When we close past, usually I don't expect that much of a pullback. We should just keep, like I said, continuing to going higher. But as we see Friday, we end up what? Taking that high. So we did exactly what we needed to do. We end up taking that high, but we rejected hard. We rejected hard. End up closing as a red candle. End up closing as a red candle. For Friday. Honestly, Friday I didn't. Yeah, the whole week I haven't played shorts though. So on Friday I didn't even get in no shorts or nothing like that. Cause I was good off of the beginning of the week. Um, so I wasn't even too much worrying about Friday. Um, I was definitely looking to see if we was gonna hold above that 649, above these highs right here. If we was gonna hold, like close above or not, or at least close green. But like I said, we did not. We failed to do both. We failed to close above and we failed to close as a green counter. Um, but yeah, that pretty much was all that happened on Thursday and Friday. Like I said, we ended up taking that 646 level. We did close above it, which was nice. We closed above that 646 on Thursday, which led us to them highs. Then Friday ended up actually taking the highs, but we failed to close past it for that continuation. Now we do see for Friday, we do see this huge wick. Um, we definitely see this huge wick on Friday, but it is a red candle. What do red candles usually tell us? We're looking for some type of low. Now it don't necessarily mean it's going to be a lower low or a higher low. It just means we're gonna look for some type of low. We don't know exactly what low we're looking for. Um, but we looking at this overall market. What was the last things we seen? We seen high, low, higher, high, low. Well, yeah, low because we end up making that lower low right there. So lower low, but then we made a higher high. All right. Um, This potentially, like we said, this potentially could be a what higher low, but we have to see a green candle come in the mix. We gotta see a green candle come. Um, right now it's red, so hey, we potentially. I'm also looking at what this daily fair value gap, right? If I look at this daily fair value gap, we only had one what break and retest right here, which led us to the highs. We came back out, we broke again, right? We potentially might be coming to retest it one more time and see if we're gonna hold, or it might be on a lower time frame. It might be a gap somewhere in this area that is retesting to lead us to them highs once again. So we gotta just watch and see though. We gotta see what the next candles entail. But the most recent thing we did was what make higher high. We gotta stay bullish until we make lower lows. I gotta stay bullish. All right, but that was spy. That was spy. That was spy. Now let's go check out, cause what else we trade? Well, of course we traded ES. Check out ES real quick, which is it's pretty much the same as SPY. We pretty much traded the same way. Uh oh, let me take these drawings off. This was I was showing someone. Well, actually, I was showing you. I was showing Nate this. I was like, hey, we were testing this on ES. Either we're testing it. Actually, I'm gonna keep it on there. We just gonna hide it for now. Hide dang. Hide drawing. I don't want to hide all the drawings. It's alright. I just delete it because I know what I was trying to draw. Alright. Now ES is a little bit different than SPY, but it's kind of the same. Um, like we said, Wednesday going into Wednesday. Now this was I ain't gonna lie y'all. This was the money maker this week for real on ES trades I took. This month it definitely was some nice movement. But yeah, just like we said with SPY coming in that Wednesday. Let me remove this real quick. Coming after that Wednesday, I said coming into that Wednesday. Coming after Wednesday, going into Thursday, we said what? All right, we looking, we looking, we looking. We already, well, our overall bias was bullish, like we said. We're not looking to be bearish until what we break. We did. This gave some bearish sentiment right here when it made this lower low. When it broke this low, but it wasn't a true downtrend because we needed what? Lower high. We needed another lower high. We failed to do that though, as we seen on Thursday. We failed to do that Thursday and Friday. But like I said, just like SPY, we had this daily fair value gap right here. We found that same key level. Remember that white line we had at 646.09? On SPY, we looked for that same level on ES. When we was on that live stream on Wednesday, we was like, hey, where is that key level where when we close green, we always get to what level? And then we found out that it was the 6400, 6,496. Dang, bro, I'm tripping. 6,496.25 level. We seen what? When it closed above this, basically this fair value gap range right here, we ended up what? Going up there. We closed above, went straight up to that 6,496. Closed above, went right to it again. When we finally closed on here, when we closed at it, we end up making them high. That making that high. Like we said, we had that one outlier. This was the only one that didn't. But out of four times the closing above, we reached that 6,496 level. So when we seen Wednesday, we finally got our first green candle after seeing all this red. So what green candle tells us? Hey, we're looking to make a high. Like we always say, we don't know if it's looking to make a lower high, because if it's making a lower high, that's gonna lead us. That's gonna make this downtrend after making this lower low. It's gonna make it true into a downtrend, and what we should be taking them lows, or it can be making what a higher high, like we said. Our bias is bullish, so we had to stay with bulls no matter what. Since our overall bias was bullish, we had to stay with bulls no matter what was going on. So like we said, green means we supposed to be going up. Now, the plus was what? Hey, we previously seen every time we closed above here, we got up to this level. So that was a plus. We was like, okay, that's at least our first target. We should at least be able to take a trade up to that 6,496 level. The second plus was, hey, what? We're closing outside of a fair value gap. We potentially can use this what fair value gap as what our bodyguard. We always said the fair value gaps and regular gaps is like the bodyguard to protect our can't beat levels down here. Well, this is the last fair value gap we got before we, you know, break this level, this low. So if we ever close below here, more than likely is gonna come take it. Well, as we seen Tuesday, we did get down here, but what that bodyguard pushed them right back into it. It said, "Nah, we ain't going by. You ain't finna get down there to that low." And then we finally got that green counter to show, hey, it's rejection. This was initial rejection, but now hey, it's turning around right here. Got that green counter closer outside of it. Now, like we said for SPY, the same way we said for SPY, we like, hey, we're targeting this key level. If we can close above it, we expect them highs to get taken. Now it can just sweep the highs, reject, and come down. It can close past the highs, continue going higher, or it can sweep the highs and still close green to potentially do a slight pullback to go higher. So same thing, just like SPY. We was in them loans. I actually was in these loans. I was in these loans like soon as counter opened up. For ES. So I literally caught this whole move. Yeah, I caught this whole move. I did. I caught this whole move past the white line. Um, just a little past. I ain't hold it to the very top now, but I held it to like around this 6,500 flat. Um, with the ES. That's why I said this was our money maker right here. Holding that ES because we literally got in like soon it opened up. We just waited on a little bit, pulled back, and left. But same thing, just like with SPY. Hey, it closed past here. What now do we expect? We expect it to go take them highs. Even if it somehow did a little pullback, we still expect it to come take them highs because we finally closed above this key level. Now our plan is what? To see what it does when it gets to these highs. Is we gonna close past to continue going higher, or is we gonna reject to have to come do possible pullback? And Friday ended up coming. We end up taking that high. We took the high. Which was nice. We did make that high. So we confirmed this low right here once we took that high. So now this red line y'all see down here, we should be able to move this red line up to this level now since it just took that high. All right. Now we failed to close past it and we closed through the red counter. What does that tell me? That's telling me, hey, the market looking for a low now. Now we're bullish, so we're expecting what? This to be a higher low. That's what we're expecting because we're bullish right now. We're expecting it to be a higher low, but we never know. It can come all the way down, break this low, which will make it what? A lower low. But we know, hey, the market is looking for a low. It's looking for some type of low right now. Now this was what I had them drawings on that y'all seen at the beginning. As y'all can see, what did this Friday counter do? It ended up retesting this daily fair value gap once again. We had one great retest. We popped and made a high. This is the second time now. It look like this is the second time we're trying to do. We're gonna break again. Well, we did break again. Made that high. This looking like a retest of it. Our thing now is just to see, hey, can we get a green counter? Can we get another green counter close above this daily fair value gap to let us know, hey, we want to move back up some more. Yeah, I seen that retest, so that's what that drawing was, y'all. I was like, hey, we broke, we coming down to retest. If we see like say on the 1 hour or something, we see market structure shift to the bull side, and it's leading this daily candle to be a green candle, and we possibly can see them highs getting taken once again. Get them highs getting taken once again with the break and retest of this daily fair value gap. Um, and then the second scenario is what we broke out, right? We broke out. We coming down to do this retest. Like we said, this is a red candle, so until we see a green candle, we know what we looking for a low. Not until once we see a green, then the market telling us, hey, we're looking for a high. So just as well as this Friday candle being red, that Monday candle could be a red candle and close inside or close below. If it close below this daily fair value gap and it gets its retest and fail to close back inside or above, then it can lead us to what? Taking both these lows out down here. That's what they're drawing ahead. So we got two scenarios. This is the bull scenario. This is the one that we supposed to follow until the market shows us otherwise. Um, but this is the potential bear entries. If we switching bearish, the only way I'm gonna be ready to kind of look for that bearish entry is like I said, we gotta close below this daily fair value. I need to see a close below it. Possibly retest. Sometimes if it closes below, it probably just keep going straight down. But close below, possibly that retest, and that'll be where I'd like to get in them shorts. If I see, hey, we get a red counter close below, I see some green getting in the mix, and off of that green counter coming in the mix, and we don't be successful either closing inside or closing above this gap. After seeing some green counters, I'm knowing, hey, well, we just made a low. Even the highs that we made staying underneath this daily fair value gap, and now it's telling me, yeah, it's the market ready to drop. But those are two scenarios that we can see coming into this week. And we also can see potential. The market could potentially try to consolidate. Y'all know it always can consolidate whenever it wants. But trend wise, these are the potential uh, trades we can see. All right, so that was ES, and like I said, same thing with SPY. Friday I didn't really trade too much. Kind of just enjoyed my day because like I said, I had a nice week. Real nice week this week. Yeah. So Friday I really didn't. I probably scalped a couple. I gotta look at my screenshots stuff, but I probably took a couple scalps, but it really wasn't long. I really didn't sit on the charts Friday, honestly. And I'm glad I didn't. Cause look, we did sweep that high, but we failed to close above. I did try to look at the end of the day to see if we was gonna close above. Cause if we would have closed above, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was loading up them loans. I was gonna grab a couple loans to swing if we would have closed above the high. So I was like, man, we might explode, but we ain't close above the high, so it slowed us down a little bit. Um, but yeah. All right, so that's SPY, that's ES. I think we only got two more left. We got Meta and Lulu. So those are two that we gotta go over real quick. Lulu, Lulu. When I tell y'all, this was a banger trade right here. This was perfect trade, man. When I tell y'all, hold up, okay. Now we did this drawing. This y'all see this big old short positioning tool right here. We did this on the monthly. Like we did that drawing on the monthly, I believe. Was it the monthly? Nah, it wasn't. What? Let me see. Nah, it wasn't a monthly. I don't think. Nah, it was a monthly. What? Green. Nah, I ain't do it on the monthly. My bad. I thought I drew this on the monthly. It must have been some other charts that I drew it on the monthly. Because if this was on my monthly, my stop loss would be right here. And that's if we took that low already. So, nah, it must have been the other trades I was looking at that I had on the monthly. Never mind. Y'all don't mind what I was saying. Let me see though. Let's see where we got this big positioning tool from. Weekly. Oh, it was a weekly. It must have been a weekly. My bad. I thought it was a month. I thought it was a monthly. It was a weekly. Now we had this big old drawing right here based off of that weekly this weekly structure, right? Um as we can see, it's in a big old downtrend. We was like, yeah, Lululemon dropping. Lululemon dropping. We knew the earnings was coming up. We knew the earnings was coming up. We said, hey, we look at this previous week, we end up closing red, right? If we know we're in a downtrend, what are we supposed to do? Make lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Well, let me remove this week so y'all can see what I was talking about. So we're supposed to make lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, lower lows. I told y'all, I said, hey, when it comes to Lululemon, let me remove this too. Well, nah, I'll keep that there. When it comes to Lululemon, well, if we trying to keep this downtrend going, what's supposed to happen? We supposed to what? After this red candle come, we supposed to keep going down. We supposed to come take these lows out. Down here at this, what's this low? 185, 95 level. We supposed to take that low out. We supposed to take that low out. We're not supposed to what? Make a higher high if we're still what? Still full in the downtrend. So that red candle told us what? The market is looking for a low. We're expecting what? A lower low because we're in a downtrend. Well, if you look at this stop loss, let me do this. We just delete it real quick. If you look at this, just so it can be closer. Look at this stop loss. Your stop loss supposed to be what? These highs, because what? We're not supposed to make what? A higher high. That high right there, that's supposed to be our stop loss. We're not supposed to make a higher high if we're still want to stay in this downtrend. Our target is what? This low. So we supposed to what? Keep making lower lows, right? Supposed to keep making them lower lows. Now I believe when we was on the stream, I did tell y'all the only thing that kind of make it a little worrisome is what? We're closed inside this weekly gap. As y'all can see, we closed inside that weekly gap. Even this red candle was inside that weekly gap. But I was like, I still believe we're gonna drop. We still gonna drop, I believe. Come on now, this leg. We're playing with the leg. Alright. Then we go into that daily. Now, we came into this daily. Alright. I think, was it Wednesday? When did they? Let me see. Thursday. Well, we're gonna take the replay back off. My bad. Just so I can see everything. Okay. So we came into that what the world? Hold up, y'all. Something. I just took the replay off. Nah, come on with this leg stuff now. Come on. Oh, that what it was. I thought it was a leg, man. I forgot it had gapped all the way down. I'm on the daily. It ain't gonna show like the pre-market. I'm like, dang, what? I know we hit target down here now. Hey, I thought it was a leg. I forgot it gapped down so hard in the pre-market. Um, but like I said, if we looking at that daily, we was like, hey, what? We're supposed to what? We supposed to continue doing our downtrend. Like we said, that weekly, this was that level we was not supposed to take out, that 208 level. We're not supposed to take that out because if we take that out on the weekly, we're switching bullish. All right. Now when we was on that daily, that's why I had moved my stop loss down some. So I was like, okay, well, this is my last lower high, that we had before we take this higher high out. So that's why I had my stop loss at that 207 instead of that 208. But as we see, we was what? Moving down, 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 the downtrend. We came to Wednesday. Wednesday ended up coming. We ended up closing green. And this was when we did our was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday when we no, yeah, Wednesday was red. My bad, y'all. Wednesday we ended up being red. Now, this is when we had got on that stream um on Wednesday. We was like, hey, for them earnings coming to them earnings for Lulu, we were looking for what that potential drop to eventually come. We looking for that drop all the way down to these lows. But we knew what we ended up closing green, closing red. It was like, okay, the market could potentially start moving up. We could be seeing that uptrend starting to play out. But we're looking for what? Some sign for an entry to go short. We're looking for some sign for entry to go short. Um, to aim for them all time lows. I mean aim for them lows right there. My bad, y'all. To aim for them lows. Wednesday, like we said, Wednesday closed red. This gave us a potential entry, but we didn't get in on that Wednesday. This gave us that potential entry. Um, Stop loss supposed to be up here. Like I said, we was supposed to get in on this Wednesday, but we ain't get in. I ain't gonna lie. I think Wednesday I was just busy with Meta. Yeah, I was in Meta. Now I was looking at Lulu that whole time, but I just didn't get in. Um, but like I said, this is supposed to be your entry right here. This red candle, this first red candle that we made, supposed to be your entry. Stop loss supposed to be up here because it's your last what solidified level. As y'all can see, Thursday the market ended up pushing up, making a higher high. So we had this high, low, higher high. It ended up pushing up on Thursday. Now this is where I was looking to get in. Once I seen us pushing up on Thursday, I was like, okay, well I know for a fact the market ain't supposed to beat this level. This 207, 208 area, right? I'm like the market ain't supposed to go up there. I was like, man, I'm looking for them shorts. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for them shorts. Thursday came. I was like, hey, all I need to see is market structure shift. And look at this, y'all. Thursday ended up coming. We ain't see not a lick of no market structure shift that whole day. Look at this. The whole day. Not one sign. Even if I go on the lower time frame. Not one sign. Well, Wednesday, my bad. I'm saying Thursday. Wednesday, we didn't see no, we did see one. It was one sign I seen early on Wednesday. Look at this. It was only one sign of a lower low get made. Or it was on the lower time frame. It was on 5 minutes. It was we had a low, high. This was that lower low right here. Now this was the only time you probably could have got in that trade based on your market structure shit and stuff. Honestly, after that, it just started making high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, all the way to market close. Y'all see that? All the way to market close, it made that high. Other than us knowing on that weekly we ain't supposed to take 208, you really pretty much was gonna take a gamble. But it was a high favor gamble. That's what I'm gonna say. It was a high favor gamble. Like we know that 208 and that's 208. We know that 208 not supposed to get taken. So we like other than us knowing that, you really ain't had no entry for that Lulu. Um, so like I said, Wednesday, I just seen. I was like, man, I'm looking for market search shift. Really, I was looking for it on the hourly, but the hourly never gave us it. Um, I seen us get real close. Man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I took one Lulu limit at the end of the day. One Lulu limit short. Boy, that earnings came out. See that mother drop. I said, I know I'm good. Took that one short. Um, I took a real light short though, cause I was like, man, I ain't even finna play around, cause the same way that earnings dropped like that, Look how close it was to that 208 level. That earnings could have popped to the upside. So it really wasn't no great entry for it. Like I said, it was more like if you could say an A plus gamble, it was an A plus gamble. That's all I can say. Cause it was super close to that can't be level on that weekly. And usually y'all know when I do it on these streams, I say whenever it's that close, that's a gamble I'm willing to take. Whenever it's that close, that's a gamble I'm willing to take. Now I prefer to see my market shift, but whenever that market give us that opportunity and it pulls back that close to them levels that it ain't supposed to go to, I mean break to keep the market structure, that's to me the best entry. So really this is how my entry kinda look like that. But like I said, the earnings came in the aftermarket, so it could have easily pushed up, and I can't close it in the aftermarket. So even though my stop loss was supposed to be that red level, um, I can't close it. Like I said, I can't close it. Ugh. See, that's why I don't like doing them drawings on that higher time frame, because it be making it stretch out. Ugh. Just don't. It's fine. But that stop loss was that tight for me. That was basically how much my stop loss supposed to be. That's why I kind of like doing my futures because, hey, if that's my stop loss on futures, if I'm able to get in a trade, I know I can stop out right there. Where options, you kind of gotta during this blue and orange area, this after and pre-market, you kind of at the hands of the market, especially when your stop loss that close to what current price is. Like I said, even though I knew my stop loss was supposed to be right here, some earnings it could have shot all the way past it and just completely killed my contract. But I was confident in, hey, it ain't supposed to beat this level. It ain't supposed to beat that 280. All right. But like I said, I did all that talking just to say the earnings came out. It dropped down. My target was just them lows at that 185. As y'all can see, we end up dropping all the way down, like all the way down to 165, 163. Um, so it completely blew past our target. Soon that market open, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I held it for a little second. And I closed quick. I ain't even gonna lie. I closed them real fast. I think the contracts I bought. They wasn't nothing but 60. Cause I ain't risked that much. It was $63. The contracts I bought. I ain't even risk that much on each contract. But when that market opened up, boy, they were $400. I said, shoot, let me go on sell 'em. I was trying to see if we gonna keep dropping, but I really didn't expect us to keep dropping. 'Cause I knew in my back of my head, I'm like, dang, SPY gonna go break them all time highs. So I don't know if that's gonna push Lululemon all the way, not all the way back up to here, but push it back up, which it did push it up some. Uh, but yeah, now Lululemon, we'll look at the targets and stuff for Lululemon on Sunday, but it played out to a T. That's why I wanted to show y'all. It was a real nice trade that we had, like I said. Real nice trade that dropped. All right, then Meta, the last one gonna go over, and then I gotta go, y'all. I done made it a little longer than I needed to. Meta. Like we said, Wednesday. Now my Meta got a lot of drawings on it. 'Cause, y'all, I spent some time with this Meta, man. I spent some time with this Meta. I had to have patience with this Meta, but it was fine. It was okay. So when we was talking about on Wednesday for this Meta, we was like, hey, and this Meta kind of set up how that cross strike was that we was looking to take, that we did take on Tuesday. Did we take it on Tuesday? I think we took it on Tuesday, but we ended up having to cut that crowd strike trade. Literally, this is how crowd strike was looking, just like how Meta looking. But for some reason, crowd strike didn't play out yet. where Meta did play it out, and I'm glad. 'Cause I think I told y'all on Wednesday. I said, y'all, I had Tesla, CrowdStrike, and Meta trade contracts. I said my Tesla one, I cut that one real quick because I was like, no, it don't look like it's gonna play out. The CrowdStrike one I cut, and I told y'all on Wednesday. I said Meta the only one I'm holding. And look, out of them three decisions, boy, that was the best decision because crowd literally once Thursday came, CrowdStrike went down, Tesla went down, Meta was the only one went up. I said, boy, 'cause I said Meta the only one that still look bullish to me between them three. Going into Thursday, and I ain't gonna lie, Meta did me real good too. It was a nice trade for me too. That Meta, cause the Meta one I actually bought. I bought it in the money, in the money contract, and I bought one out the money one too, but I bought in the money contract on Meta, so that one definitely showed some love. Um, but yeah, on Wednesday, what we was saying, we was like, hey, we had seen that we're in a big old daily regular gap. Then I had told y'all Wednesday I had noticed. I said, dang, we got a daily fair value gap right here that I didn't mark up that was inside of this big gap. Um, so I had marked up that daily fair value gap right here between this. Let me give y'all the exact levels: 734.25 and 720.30. So we marked up them gaps. I said, hey, we just got our first close outside of it. Our first close outside of this daily fair value gap, right? Um, like I told y'all, we were looking. Let me see. We were looking at Meta, and we was like, okay, we know for Meta. I don't know why my drawings are off. Cause this, yeah, for some reason these drawings off my targets and stuff. Maybe it's when I was on the phone and stuff. Cause sometimes when I move the lines on the phone, they make them not match up on his page. But like I said, we was looking for that the break of this trend line right here. We look for the break of the trend line. As y'all see, I drew, but the trend line, like I said, I don't know why it's kind of off. But we was looking for the break of that trend line. Like we said, we got the break of this daily fair value gap. Um, I told you I was like, I could see us potentially doing that retest of this fair value gap, and then popping, going up to this key level at this 258.88. That was our main target. That was what we was looking for. That 258.88. That was our main target. But I told y'all when I had my Meta contract on Wednesday, I told y'all on the stream, I said I'll be okay with if we just come get this 245 level. I can get ready to sell. 'Cause I didn't want to hold my Meta till Friday. I just didn't want to hold it till Friday. I didn't expect. I felt like we was gonna take them highs, but I didn't expect us to close past the high right away. So I was like, if we just get to that 245 area, I'll be good with taking that trade. I mean, closing that trade because I remember I had got in at like 734 or something like that. And I was like, that's a $10, $11 move. Um, but we had got that green counter closed for Wednesday. Like I said, I was expecting us to what? Come take these highs up here, come get 758. But like I said, I do know this daily fair value gap. I mean, the daily regular gap is right here, so we could see that rejection there. When we came into that pre-market, what did we end up doing? Meta ended up right here. Meta ended up pushing straight past that daily gap. And my whole time, I was like, man, if we can open up above this daily gap, well, I'm holding that mud. I'm holding that mud to that 758 level. If we can open up above it. If we would have opened up inside the daily gap, I probably would have closed, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I told y'all, that 745 was good with me. But I was watching the pre-market hard on Meta on Thursday morning. I was watching that pre-market so dang close. I'm talking. I was like, just if we close above this 745, I'm holding it till we get up there. Um, and if we open up, I mean, yeah, if we opened up above it, I'm holding it to that 758 level. If we open up below, I'm probably gonna close. We ended up opening up above. We ended up opening up above, and I ain't even had to hold my trade long because shout out to Nate. I don't know if you still in here, Nate. Shout out to my boy Nate. He showed me how to use Robinhood simulator, and this was the first trade I used it on, Nate. I used the simulator to get the estimate of what my contract price would be when we get up here to 758. Now I did do it when I did that simulator. I did it for like if they get up there at like 9 o'clock, something like that. Yeah, I used the simulator for like I put at like 9 o'clock. I ain't expect us to just go straight up to it, but I did feel like we was gonna get close to it. So I used that simulator. I used the simulator to kind of get an estimate, and I set me a limit, like my limit order. Cause I told y'all usually on Robinhood I don't set limit orders because I don't be knowing how much it'll be at certain levels and stuff. So I usually just move my stop loss up as the trade keep going. Um, so I used that simulator, found out what my value of my contracts, my meta contracts I had, how much it'll be. But I set that limit order in the pre-market because I was like, it might. I sleep was thinking, I was like, man, we might just shoot straight up. Um, shoot straight up, but I don't think we'll shoot straight. I was like, I think we probably do it closer to 9. But literally, if y'all see, I ain't even had to hold my trade over 1 minute. Literally, in that first minute, it just went straight up to our target and sold contract. Oh, where is that? That's Friday. I think I probably held it for 2 minutes, if that. I don't even know if it was 2 minutes. I just know it sold real quick soon the market opened up. I think it was that first minute. Yep, and the first, no, the first 2 minutes. My bad. Man, when I tell y'all that mud fell, when I looked at that Robin Hood and seen them mud still, well, I said, oh yeah, we finna eat good this week. Man, them meta contracts. 'Cause like I told you, I ended up getting in meta. I got all my meta contracts down there at that 734 level. And like I said, I bought it in the money already. So, and I had one out the money, but I had the other ones in the money already. So that definitely, what, $24 move? That was a nice 20, and it was a $24 move in one day. Cause like I said, I got in on Wednesday, and literally this was Thursday, so I only had to hold it at one day. Not even the whole day, just the first beginning part of it. But yeah, like I said, I've had that limit order. Went up there, took it out. But I was like, on that daily, was it the daily or was it hourly? I think it was the daily. I was like, I think we probably gonna sweep it and then probably come back down. That's what I was expecting. Um, and that's what happened. Yeah, we ended up sweeping that high. I was like, I think we're gonna sweep that high and come right back down. So that's why I did set that limit order. So I was like, I don't really think we gonna just close past it. If we would have had gaps from down here, we jumped from 736 all the way to 758 and closed past. Then Meta trying to go take all these highs out in 2 days if it was trying to do that. So that's why I was like, nah, I can't really see it doing all that. Like I can see it sweeping that high, then probably cooling back, consolidate a little bit, then go higher or something. But I just didn't see us taking like keep pushing past that high. So that's why I set that limit order, which was the right decision. Like we seen, ended up taking that high and coming right back down to these 750s. So we made the right decision with that. Um, now on Meta, if it would have had closed past that high, y'all know what we expect. That's a continuation. We supposed to keep moving up. Really don't see nothing stopping us to go to at least I want to say right around here to 770, between 770 and 775. Then, yeah, 770 to 775. Right in that area. We really don't got nothing to stop us once we close above this high. So, if we would have closed above that high, I definitely would have been okay with taking it from 758 all the way to that 770 at least. But, like I said, we swept that high, filled it, and closed back below. Now, we do see this, though. We do see what? We got a break outside this gap. I know, like I said, I got all these dang drawings, so it might be a little bit hard to see. And I'll be behind on them drawings once I get in them trades, y'all. Especially when it's like a tight trade. If I just got in and stuff, I'm gonna have a lot of drawings. Once I'm good in the profit, then I ain't gotta do all them drawings. I'll be looking at every little move when I first get in, though. Um, but as we can see, we did what? We end up. Let me do this drawing so y'all can see. Broke out this gap. We just got our retest. It's red candle, and it's good that it's red. We don't. Y'all know my rule. I don't count a retest until I got a different color candle. So if we move into the upside, if we at the top and got green candle, green candle, green candle, even if a green candle wick inside my fair value gap, I don't count it as a true retest. I just say, oh yeah, it just bounced back off the gap. I don't count it as a retest until I see a red candle get in the mix. Now it don't have to be the red candle that come tapping, but it needs to be a red candle in the mix. Because the reason why is because I need to see a trend forming above the gap. Well, the only way I can get a trend is if I got what? Higher, higher, higher lows. Two, three green candles in a row, we never made a higher low. Technically, like, um, I need to see a red candle to give me that true higher low. So now, since we got our first red, now what's the only thing I need to see? This we need a green candle to close to stay above this gap. We get one green candle close above this gap. I'm pretty confident at least taking it back up to the highs. Potentially, if it close past, like I said, go up to that 770. But we got a red. Red telling us we look for a low. Oh snap! My bad, y'all. Oh, I got to end the stream. I'll be back. I ain't know that time snuck up on me. Hold on, here I come.